Admiral Tay stood on the bridge of the Earth Defense Station, staring at the massive display screen. 500 alien warships floated in orbit around Earth. They had arrived without warning 3 hours ago. Each ship was 3 times larger than Earth's biggest battleship. The sight made his chest feel tight, but his face showed nothing. "Sir, incoming transmission," said the communications officer. Her voice shook slightly. "Put it on screen," Tay said calmly. The display changed. A tall alien appeared. Its skin was dark purple, and it had 4 arms. 2 large black eyes stared down at them. The creature wore golden armor covered in strange symbols. "I am High Commander Vrel of the Galactic Council," the alien said. Its voice came through the translator as deep and cold. "You are the leaders of the species called humans." "Yes, I am Admiral Tay, Commander of Earth's Defense Forces," Tay replied. "Why have you brought a war fleet to our planet?" The alien made a sound like laughter, but there was no humor in it. "War fleet. No, human. This is a police force. The Galactic Council has watched your species for 50 of your years. You have spread to 30 colony worlds. You fight among yourselves. You build weapons of terrible power. You are too dangerous, too aggressive for civilized space." Tay felt anger rise in his chest, but he kept his voice steady. "We have never attacked another species. We have kept to ourselves." "You exist," Vrel said simply. "That is enough. The Council has decided. You will surrender control of your worlds to us within 48 hours. We will occupy your planets. We will limit your technology. We will reduce your population to manageable levels. This is not a negotiation. This is law." The screen went black before Tay could respond. The bridge was silent for 10 seconds. Then everyone started talking at once. Tay raised his hand, and they fell quiet. "Get me Dr. Hay immediately," he said, "and send a message to all fleet commanders. Battle stations, but do not fire unless fired upon. We need time to think." 20 minutes later, Dr. Hay arrived in the command center. She was a small woman with short gray hair and sharp eyes. She carried a data tablet under her arm. "You saw the transmission?" Tay asked. "Everyone on Earth saw it," Hay said. "They broadcast it on all frequencies. They wanted to scare us." She smiled slightly. "It's working. There are riots starting in 3 major cities. Can we fight them?" Tay asked directly. Hay looked around the bridge. Tay nodded, and the other officers stepped back to give them privacy. "Yes," Hay said quietly. "I think we can." Tay's eyebrows rose. "They have 500 ships. We have 73. "They have old ships," Hay explained. She pulled up images on her tablet. "Look at their design. We've been studying them since they arrived. Those vessels are using technology from at least 300 years ago by our estimates. The Galactic Council has been the dominant power for so long that they stopped improving. They stopped innovating. And we haven't," Tay said, understanding. "Exactly. We've been fighting each other for our entire history. We just finished the colony wars 15 years ago. Our ships are new. Our weapons are better. And we have something they don't." She tapped her tablet, and a schematic appeared. "Project Horizon. We didn't just copy their faster-than-light drives. We made them better, faster, more precise. Our ships can jump in and out of FTL in combat. Their ships take 10 minutes to charge their drives. Ours take 30 seconds. A young officer approached them. "Sir, Captain Jin is requesting permission to launch a reconnaissance mission." "Approved," Tay said. "Tell him to be careful. I want information, not a battle. Not yet." Captain Jin was Earth's best pilot. He had flown in the colony wars and survived 43 combat missions. If anyone could scout the enemy fleet and return safely, it was him. 2 hours passed. Jin's small stealth ship slipped past the alien fleet, recording everything. When he returned, he came straight to the command center. "Their formation is terrible," Jin reported, still wearing his flight suit. They're arranged for show, not for battle. They have big guns, yes, but they're slow to turn, slow to react. I flew within 1 kilometer of their flagship. Their sensors didn't even see me." "They're overconfident," said Hay. "They think we'll surrender." Tay looked at the display showing Earth below them. 4 billion people lived on that blue planet. Another 2 billion lived in the colonies. All of them were waiting to see what he would do. "What about Ambassador Na?" Tay asked. "She's supposed to be talking to them right now." As if summoned by her name, Na appeared on the communication screen. She stood in a small shuttle between the Earth fleet and the alien fleet. Her face was calm, but her eyes were hard. "Admiral, they won't negotiate," she said. "I've been trying for 2 hours. They keep repeating the same message: surrender or die. They offered me a choice. I can surrender Earth and be appointed as a puppet governor, or I can die with everyone else." "What did you tell them?" Tay asked, though he already knew the answer. Na smiled. It was not a kind smile. "I told them that humanity doesn't know how to surrender. I told them that we've been killing each other for 10,000 years and we're very good at it. I told them if they want Earth, they'll have to come down here and take it from our cold, dead hands." Someone on the bridge laughed. Then another. Soon, the entire command center was filled with grim laughter. Tay nodded slowly. The decision was made. "Dr. Hay, activate all defense platforms. Captain Jin, prepare your squadrons. Ambassador Na, return to the station." He turned to face his crew. "Send a message to the alien fleet. Use the old Earth phrase that Na mentioned. Tell them, come and take it." The communications officer typed the message. Across space, on 500 alien ships, the translation came through. The Galactic Council had given humanity a choice. Humanity had made their choice. War was coming. Captain Jin sat in the briefing room with 30 other pilots. They were the best Earth had. Some had flown in the colony wars. Others were younger, trained in the new academies. All of them looked nervous. Jin didn't blame them. He was nervous too. Admiral Tay entered the room with Dr. Hay and 2 people Jin had never seen before. One was a tall man in military uniform with colonel insignia. The other was a woman in an engineer's jumpsuit. "This is Colonel Day," Tay said, introducing the tall man. "He commands our Special Operations Forces, and this is Engineer Mai. She designed our new stealth ships." Colonel Day stepped forward. He had a thin scar across his left cheek. "My team infiltrated one of the alien supply stations last night. They didn't even know we were there. We downloaded their tactical database." He smiled coldly. "The Galactic Council hasn't fought a real war in 400 years. They've been bullying younger races for so long that they forgot how to actually fight." A murmur went through the room. Jin leaned forward, interested. "Show them," Tay said. Dr. Hay activated a holographic display. It showed the alien fleet formation. "Watch this," she said. She ran a simulation. The alien ships moved in perfect geometric patterns. They fired their weapons in synchronized volleys. It looked impressive. "Now watch what happens when we break their formation," Hay said. She ran another simulation. Human ships darted in and out, moving unpredictably. The alien formation collapsed into chaos. Ships crashed into each other, trying to maintain their precise positions. "They fight like it's a parade," Jin said, understanding. "All show, no flexibility." "Exactly," Day said. "Their tactics come from ancient battle manuals. They follow rules. We don't." Engineer Mi stood up. She was short and round-faced, but her eyes were bright with excitement. "I want to show you something," she said. She pulled up a star map. It showed Earth's orbital space. Scattered around were hundreds of small objects marked as space debris. "That's junk," one pilot said. "Dead satellites, old rocket stages." Mi grinned. "That's what we want them to think. Actually, those are weapon platforms, 200 of them. Each one has 4 missile launchers and a railgun. They've been floating there for 10 years, looking like garbage. The aliens scanned them and ignored them. The room erupted in excited conversation. Jin felt hope growing in his chest. Maybe they really could win this. Dr. Hay held up her hand for silence. We have other advantages. Our ships use AI-assisted targeting. The Galactic Council banned artificial intelligence 3,000 years ago after some war we don't know about. They think AI is dangerous, so they use organic computers, biological brains grown in tanks. They're slow and limited. Our missiles are faster, Mi added. Our lasers are more powerful. We developed nuclear-pumped laser technology. One shot can cut through their shields. And we have relativistic kinetic missiles. Basically, we shoot pieces of metal at 90% the speed of light. When they hit, the energy release is enormous. Tay spoke again. The Council thinks we're primitives. They think this will be easy. We're going to teach them that underestimating humanity is a fatal mistake. He looked at Jin. Captain, you flew close to their ships. What did you observe? Jin stood. Their shields are strong at the front, weak at the sides and rear. Their weapons have impressive range but terrible tracking. I could dodge their fire easily. Their ships are huge, which makes them powerful but also slow. Our fighters can fly circles around them. Good, Tay said. You'll lead the fighter squadrons. Use hit-and-run tactics. Don't try to fight them head-on. Be like mosquitoes. Sting them and fly away before they can swat you. Colonel Day opened a case and pulled out a strange device. We also have these, hacking modules. The Council uses standardized systems across all their ships. Once we break one ship's security, we can affect all of them. My commandos will board enemy vessels and plant these devices. We'll steal their communications, feed them false data, maybe even take control of their weapons. Admiral Tay looked around the room at all the faces watching him. The Council gave us 48 hours to surrender. We have 32 hours left. Here's what we're going to do. We're not going to wait for them to attack. In 20 hours, we're going to hit them first. The room went silent. A first strike. It was aggressive, unexpected, very human. Dr. Hay and her team will activate the hidden weapons platforms, Tay continued. They'll target the command ships first. Engineer Mi's stealth ships will position themselves behind the enemy fleet. When the platforms open fire, the stealth ships will attack from the rear. Captain Jin's fighters will swarm their flanks. Colonel Day's commandos will infiltrate their flagship during the confusion. What about the main fleet? Asked one of the officers. Our capital ships will jump in right on top of them, Tay said. Close range, where their long-range advantage doesn't matter. We'll use our superior maneuverability to stay inside their turning radius, and every ship captain will have full tactical authority. No waiting for orders from me. See an opportunity, take it. Adapt to the situation. Jin understood the wisdom of this. The aliens had a rigid command structure. If humanity cut off the head, the body would flounder. But if every human captain could think and act independently, the fleet would keep fighting no matter what. One more thing, Dr. Hay said. We've been studying their psychology. The Vrelians, the species in command, have a culture based on honor and hierarchy. If we humiliate them, if we make them look weak, their allies might abandon them. Other species in the Council might start questioning their leadership. So we don't just beat them, Day said. We embarrass them. We make it look easy. Tay nodded. The Council wants Earth's surrender. Instead, we're going to offer them a choice. Leave our system peacefully or die in it. I want every alien ship to know that humans don't bow to threats. We fight back, and we win. The briefing continued for 3 more hours. They went over every detail, every contingency. Jin memorized attack patterns and fallback positions. He studied the weak points in alien ship designs. He learned which species in the Council fleet were warriors and which were just there for show. Finally, Tay dismissed them. As Jin headed to his fighter, he felt a hand on his shoulder. It was Day. Your team is good, the colonel said. But remember, speed and surprise are everything. The moment they realize what's happening, they'll try to adapt. We need to hit them so hard and so fast that they can't think. Like a knockout punch in the first round, Jin said. Day smiled. Exactly. Make it count, Captain. Jin climbed into his fighter. Around him, mechanics were loading missiles and checking systems. The hangar was full of activity. Pilots ran to their ships. Engineers shouted final instructions. Everyone knew what was coming. Jin ran through his pre-flight checklist. His hands moved automatically, but his mind was racing. In 20 hours, they would either save Earth or die trying. The Galactic Council expected surrender. They were going to get a war instead. The countdown reached 0. All across Earth's orbital space, 200 hidden weapons platforms came to life. For 10 years, they had floated silent and cold, disguised as space junk. Now their missile bays opened, their railguns powered up, targeting computers locked onto the alien fleet. Fire, Admiral Tay said quietly. The platforms unleashed hell. 800 missiles streaked toward the Council fleet. The aliens had maybe 5 seconds of warning. Their sensors screamed alerts. Officers shouted in confusion. But 5 seconds wasn't enough time. The first wave of missiles struck the command ships exactly as planned. Shields flared and died. Hulls cracked open. Atmosphere vented into space. 3 of the largest alien vessels exploded in brilliant flashes of light. On the bridge of the Vrelian flagship, High Commander Vrel staggered as his ship shook. "Report!" he screamed. "We're under attack!" his tactical officer shouted. "Multiple missile strikes from unknown sources. We've lost the battlecruisers Thunder of Justice and Eternal Dominion. The carrier Skybreaker is crippled." "Where are they firing from?" Vrel demanded. "We don't know. Sensors can't locate the launch points. They appear to be coming from debris fields, but that's impossible." Vrel's eyes widened. The humans had tricked them. Those weren't debris fields. They were weapons. "Return fire! Destroy everything in orbit!" But before the Council ships could respond, Engineer Mee's stealth ships appeared behind them. 20 small vessels, completely invisible to the alien sensors until they opened fire. Their nuclear-pumped lasers cut through shield generators and engine ports. More Council ships died. "Now," Tay said. The main Earth fleet jumped out of FTL space directly into the middle of the alien formation. 73 human warships materialized at point-blank range. The aliens' long-range weapons were useless. The battle became a close-quarters brawl. Captain Jin led his fighter squadron into the chaos. His targeting computer painted dozens of enemy ships red. Too many targets. He picked the nearest one and fired. His missiles struck an alien destroyer in the engine section. The ship spun out of control. "Gold Squadron, follow me!" Jin shouted into his comm. "Hit them from below." His fighters dove under the main battle line. The alien point defense systems tried to track them but moved too slowly. Jin's people were too fast, too agile. They fired and turned and fired again. It was like fighting giants. The giants were strong, but they were slow and clumsy. On the human battleship Defiance, a young officer named Yong watched the tactical display with wide eyes. He was only 23, fresh from the academy. This was his first real battle. "Sir," he said to his captain, "look at their formation. They're trying to regroup near the moon." The captain studied the display. "You're right. They're falling back to a defensive position." "But that's a mistake," Yong said excitedly. "The moon's gravity well. If we position our ships on the far side, we can use the moon's gravity to slingshot missiles at them. They'll come in at impossible angles. The aliens won't be able to track them." The captain looked at the young officer with new respect. "Do it. Weapons, prepare a firing solution using Lieutenant Yong's calculations." 3 minutes later, missiles whipped around the moon, accelerated by gravity, and slammed into the regrouping Council ships. The aliens never saw them coming. Aboard the Vrelian flagship, Vrel was beginning to understand that he had made a terrible mistake. His fleet was being torn apart. These humans fought like nothing he had ever seen. They didn't follow any rules. They didn't form proper battle lines. They just attacked from every direction at once. "Status report," he demanded. His tactical officer's voice shook. "We've lost 173 ships in the first hour. Another 97 are heavily damaged. The humans have lost 12 ships. 12. Vrel felt cold. They had started with 500 ships against 73. Now the numbers were almost even. "Send a transmission to the human commander," Vrel said. "Offer a ceasefire. We'll negotiate." But Colonel Day had other plans. While the space battle raged, his commando team flew a stolen alien shuttle toward the Vrelian flagship. The shuttle's codes were valid. The aliens let them approach and dock. 20 human soldiers poured out of the shuttle. They moved fast, weapons ready. The Vrelian guards barely had time to raise their own weapons before they fell. Day's team knew the ship's layout from the stolen data. They moved straight toward the command center. "Plant the hacking modules at every data junction," Day ordered. His soldiers spread out, attaching small devices to the alien ship's computer systems. On Earth, Dr. G sat in front of a computer terminal. She was a specialist in alien psychology, but today she had a different job. "I'm in," she said, as the hacking modules activated. "I have access to their communications network." "Can you break their encryption?" asked Dr. Hay. "Already done. The Council uses the same codes across their entire fleet. It's like they all have the same password." G's fingers flew across her keyboard. "Feeding them false data now. They think their reinforcements are arriving, but those signatures are just sensor ghosts." On the Council ships, confusion grew. Officers received contradictory orders. Sensors showed enemy ships that didn't exist. Friendly fire incidents increased as the aliens shot at ghost targets and hit each other instead. Admiral Tay watched the battle unfold on his display. 6 hours had passed since the first shot. The alien fleet was broken. Ships fled in every direction, all formation gone. Some were trying to jump to FTL, but human ships harried them, disrupting their drive charges. "Incoming transmission from the Vrelian commander," his communications officer said. Tay nodded. "Put him on screen." High Commander Vrel appeared. His golden armor was scorched. Purple blood ran from a cut above one of his eyes. Behind him, smoke filled the bridge of his flagship. "I offer surrender," Vrel said. The words seemed to choke him. "Cease your attack. We will withdraw from your system." Tay shook his head slowly. "No, I don't accept your surrender. Here are my terms. You will transmit your unconditional surrender to every ship in your fleet. You will order them to power down their weapons and shields. You will provide us with all command codes. And you will tell us everything about the Galactic Council." "You cannot demand this," Vrel said, but his voice held no strength. "The Council will send another fleet." "Let them come," Tay said coldly. "We'll be ready. We've captured 47 of your ships intact." "We'll study them, learn from them. By the time your council sends another fleet, we'll be even stronger. Now, do you agree to my terms, or do I order my ships to destroy what's left of your fleet?" Vrel looked at something off-screen. His shoulders slumped. "I agree." "Good. Captain Jin, Colonel Day, begin recovery operations. I want prisoners, intact ships, and all their data." The bridge erupted in cheers. They had done it. 73 ships against 500, and Earth had won. But Dr. Hay stood beside Tay, and she wasn't cheering. "This isn't over," she said quietly. "The Council will respond. We've humiliated them. They can't let this stand." Tay nodded. "I know. This was just the first battle." He looked at the tactical display showing Earth, green and beautiful, still intact below them. "But we proved something today. We proved that humans can fight. We proved we won't be bullied. And we proved that anyone who threatens Earth will regret it." He opened a fleet-wide channel. "All ships, this is Admiral Tay. Well done. You've saved Earth and sent a message to the galaxy. Humanity will not surrender. Humanity will not bow, and humanity will fight for its freedom against anyone who tries to take it. Take pride in what you've accomplished today, but stay ready. The war has just begun. Captain Jin flew his damaged fighter back toward the carrier, looking out at the debris field that had been the Council fleet. In the distance, Earth turned slowly, blue and white and alive. Worth fighting for. Worth dying for. The Galactic Council had ordered Earth's surrender. Instead, they got a war, and humanity had just won the opening battle. 3 days after the Battle of Earth, Admiral Tay stood in the captured Vrelian flagship. Engineers and scientists crawled over every surface, studying alien technology. The ship was huge, nearly 2 kilometers long. It would take months to fully understand everything on board. Colonel Day walked up to him carrying a data tablet. "You need to see this," he said. Tay took the tablet and read. His expression darkened. "Are you sure?" "Completely. We pulled it from their navigation computers. The Council has a military base 15 light years from here. It's where this fleet was staged. Right now it's nearly empty. They sent most of their forces here to intimidate us." A woman in a military uniform joined them. Commander Yoon was the leader of Earth's newest carrier group. She was tall and lean, with calculating eyes. "You're thinking of attacking them," she said. It wasn't a question. Tay nodded slowly. "The Council expects us to celebrate our victory and stay home. They think we'll wait for them to regroup and attack us again. But what if we don't wait?" "We go on the offensive," Yoon said, smiling. "Hit them while they're confused and scared." "Exactly. Commander, how soon can your carrier group be ready to jump?" 6 hours. My ships took minimal damage in the battle." Tay made his decision. "Do it. Take 20 ships. Jump to their base. Destroy it. Capture whatever you can." Yun saluted and left quickly, already calling orders into her comm unit. On Earth, a woman named Sun worked in a small office in the Defense Command building. She was a strategic planner, someone who thought about wars in weeks and months instead of minutes and hours. When she heard about Tay's plan, she immediately requested a meeting. "Admiral," she said, spreading star maps across his desk, "if we're going to attack their base, we shouldn't stop there. Look." She pointed to 3 locations near the base. "These are resource depots. Fuel, ammunition, spare parts. If we take them out, the Council can't resupply their forces in this sector." Tay studied the maps. "You're suggesting we hit 4 targets?" "5, actually," Sun said, pointing to another location. "This is a shipyard, a small one, but it builds their patrol craft. If we destroy it, we reduce their ability to respond." "Ambitious," Tay said, but he was smiling. Over the next week, Commander Yoon's carrier group struck all 5 targets. The attacks were swift and brutal. The Council forces at each location were unprepared for human aggression. They expected negotiations, diplomatic protests, maybe sanctions. They didn't expect Earth's warships to jump in and start shooting immediately. At the main military base, Yoon's ships destroyed the orbital defenses in the first 10 minutes. Then her Marines landed and captured the base itself. They found warehouses full of technology, weapons, and most importantly, information. Captain Jin, promoted to Commodore after the Battle of Earth, led the strike on the shipyard. His fighters swarmed the facility while human ships provided covering fire. Within an hour, the shipyard was in human hands. Back on Earth, Dr. Hay worked with a team of scientists to analyze everything they were capturing. One discovery shocked them all. "Admiral, you need to see this," Hay said during a video call. Her face was pale. "What is it?" "We found historical records in the base's archives. The Galactic Council has done this before. Many times. Over the past 3,000 years, they've encountered 12 other young species that expanded too fast. Species that the Council considered aggressive or dangerous." "What happened to them?" Tay asked, though he already knew. "Extinct. All of them. The Council didn't just defeat them. They systematically destroyed their colonies, their infrastructure, their ability to rebuild. Then they quarantined the survivors on their home planets and let them slowly die out. Tay felt cold anger settle in his chest. They were going to do that to us. Yes. And they would have called it peacekeeping. The Council presents itself as wise and benevolent, but they're tyrants. They suppress any species that might challenge their power. Broadcast this information, Tay ordered. Send it on all frequencies. Every species in Council space needs to know the truth. Dr. G, the psychologist, spoke up. Admiral, if we do that, we'll cause massive political upheaval. The Council will lose legitimacy. Their member species might rebel. Good, Tay said flatly. Let them rebel. Let the galaxy see what the Council really is. The broadcasts went out. Within days, the response was explosive. On dozens of Council worlds, populations rioted. Several younger species contacted Earth secretly, asking if the information was true. When Tay confirmed it and provided evidence, something unexpected happened. A species called the Kelth, small blue-skinned people from a desert world, sent a diplomatic ship to Earth. Their ambassador met with Ambassador Na in a neutral space station. We believe you, the Kelth ambassador said. We've suspected for years that the Council was hiding something, but we were too afraid to question them. Now we want to help. We want to be free of Council control. What are you proposing? Na asked carefully. An alliance. Share your military technology with us. We'll provide intelligence about Council movements, and we'll convince other species to join you. Na smiled. I'll take your offer to Admiral Tay. Within 2 weeks, 4 more species approached Earth with similar offers. They were all younger races, species the Council had suppressed for centuries. They saw humanity's victory as proof that the Council could be defeated. Admiral Tay gathered his senior staff for a meeting. On the display screen were the faces of allied ambassadors from 5 different species. The situation is this, Tay said. We've won battles, but we haven't won the war. The Council still has thousands of ships. They control hundreds of worlds. Eventually, they'll gather their full strength and come at us with everything they have. So we strike first, said Commander Yoon. We've proven we can beat them in battle. It's not just about battles anymore, said Sun, the strategic planner. It's about liberation. Every world we free from Council control is one less world that can supply their war machine. Every species that joins us makes them weaker and us stronger. You're talking about invading Council space, one of the allied ambassadors said. That's a massive undertaking. The Council invaded our space, Tay replied. They came to Earth planning to destroy us. We're just returning the favor. But we're not going to suppress anyone. We're going to free them. He pulled up a star map showing the Council's territory. It was vast, covering a significant portion of the galaxy. But Tay pointed to a specific region. Here, the Council's core systems, 20 worlds where the ruling species live. If we strike there, we cut the head off the snake. The room went silent. It was an audacious plan, insane even, but as Tay laid out the details, it started to make sense. Earth now had 120 ships, including captured and repaired Council vessels. Their allies could contribute another 80, 200 ships against the Council's remaining forces. The odds were still bad, but they were getting better. We'll need time to prepare, Colonel Day said. My commandos need to infiltrate Council worlds and prepare the ground for our arrival. We need to know their defenses, their ship positions, everything. How long? Tay asked. 3 months. Maybe 4. Tay nodded. Make it 3. Every day we wait is a day the Council uses to prepare for us. We move fast, or we don't move at all. Dr. Hay activated a hologram showing new ship designs. While we prepare, my team will retrofit our fleet with the best alien technology we've captured. We'll combine human innovation with Council resources. The result will be better than either alone. Captain Jin looked at the star map, at the long route from Earth to the Council core worlds. "It's a one-way trip," he said quietly. "If we lose, we can't retreat all the way back to Earth. We'll be too deep in enemy territory." "Then we don't lose," Tay said simply. "The Council wanted to destroy us. They wanted to erase humanity from the galaxy. Instead, we're going to destroy them. We're going to tear down their empire and build something better in its place. Something where species are free to grow and explore without fear." He looked at each person in the room. 3 months. We prepare. We gather our strength. We train our people. And then we jump to the Council's core worlds, and we end this war. Who's with me? Everyone raised their hand. Humans and aliens, soldiers and scientists, all united by a common goal: freedom. The Galactic Council had started this war thinking Earth would be an easy victory. Now they were about to learn that humanity didn't know how to quit. The counteroffensive was about to begin, and nothing in the galaxy would ever be the same. The combined fleet jumped into the Vrelian home system exactly on schedule. 200 ships appeared in orbit around the Council's capital world. The Vrelian defense forces scrambled to respond, but they were too slow. Humanity had learned the lesson well. Speed and aggression won battles. Admiral Tay stood on the bridge of his flagship, watching the tactical display. "All ships, weapons free, engage enemy vessels." The battle lasted 3 hours. 3 hours of intense combat, of missiles and lasers and ships burning in the void. But the outcome was never in doubt. The Vrelian defenders fought bravely, but they fought using old tactics against an enemy that had revolutionized warfare. Captain Jin led his squadrons in a daring attack on the orbital defense platforms. His pilots flew through defensive fire like they were dancing. Every maneuver was perfect. Every shot counted. By the end of the second hour, all the platforms were destroyed or disabled. Colonel Day's Marines landed on the planet's surface in the capital city. They moved through the streets toward the Council's government buildings. The Vrelian police tried to stop them, but human soldiers were better trained, better equipped, and highly motivated. On Earth, Dr. Hay watched the battle through live feeds. Beside her, Dr. G monitored communications from the Council worlds. "It's happening," G said excitedly. "Other species are rising up. There are reports of rebellions on 17 Council worlds. They see that the Vrelians can be beaten, and they're taking the opportunity." "How is the Vrelian leadership responding?" Hai asked. "Panic. They're calling for help from their allies, but most of their allies are abandoning them. The smaller Council species don't want to fight humans. They've seen what we can do." In orbit above the Vrelian homeworld, a transmission came through on all frequencies. It was the Vrelian Premier, the highest leader of the Council. "I request terms," the Premier said. He was old, his purple skin faded with age. He wore robes of state, but they looked rumpled, hastily put on. "We surrender. Please stop your attack." Tay didn't answer immediately. He let the silence stretch. Let the Vrelian leader sweat. Finally, he spoke. "You came to Earth planning to destroy us. You planned to kill billions of humans. You've done this to 12 other species in your history. You're not just our enemy. You're the enemy of freedom itself." "We were wrong," the Premier said. "I admit it. We were arrogant. We thought we were keeping the galaxy safe, but we were just protecting our own power. Please, I'm offering complete surrender." Tay looked at Ambassador Na, who stood beside him. She had been the one to defy the Council first. She nodded slightly. "Here are our terms," Tay said. "The Galactic Council is dissolved, effective immediately. All Council military forces will disarm. All Council laws suppressing younger species are void. Vrelian forces will withdraw from every world they occupy." "Agreed," the Premier said quickly. "Anything else?" "Yes. You will provide full records of everything the Council has done. Every suppressed species, every secret, every crime. The galaxy deserves to know the truth." The Premier hesitated, then nodded. "It will be done." Tay ended the transmission and turned to his crew. Colonel Day, secure the government buildings. Commander Yun, establish orbital control. Captain Jin, maintain air superiority. Everyone else, stand by for further orders. The next hours were chaotic. Council officials were arrested or fled. Government buildings were occupied by human and allied forces, but there was no massacre, no revenge killings. Tay had been clear about that. This was liberation, not conquest. 3 days later, representatives from 47 species gathered in a massive conference hall on the Vrelian capital world. The hall had once hosted council meetings where the powerful decided the fate of the weak. Now it would host something different. Ambassador Na stood at the central podium. The hall fell silent. 3 months ago, the Galactic Council ordered Earth's surrender, she said. They told us we were too dangerous, too aggressive. They planned to occupy our worlds and reduce our population. They thought we would submit. She paused, looking around at the diverse faces watching her. Aliens of every size and shape from dozens of worlds. They were wrong. Humanity doesn't surrender. We fight. And when we found out that the Council had destroyed 12 other species for the same reasons, we realized this wasn't just about Earth. It was about freedom for everyone. So we fought not just for ourselves, but for all of you. Applause filled the hall. Na waited for it to die down before continuing. The Galactic Council is gone. We tore it down. But we can't leave a void. The galaxy needs order, needs cooperation. So I propose we create something new. Not a council of the powerful, but a confederation of the free. She pulled up a holographic display showing a proposed charter. The Confederation of Free Worlds, built on these principles. First, every species is equal. No race has authority over another. Second, each world maintains its own sovereignty. We govern ourselves. Third, military aggression between members is forbidden. We settle disputes through dialogue. Fourth, we share technology and knowledge freely. We help each other advance. And fifth, we defend each other. An attack on one is an attack on all. A Kelth representative stood up. What about leadership? Who makes decisions for this confederation? No one, Na said, or rather, everyone. Major decisions require a majority vote. Every species gets one vote, regardless of size or power. Humans don't rule this confederation. We're just one voice among many. The hall erupted in discussion. Representatives argued, debated, negotiated. For 6 hours, they worked on the details. Finally, they voted. 47 species voted yes. 0 voted no. The Confederation of Free Worlds was born. 1 year later, Admiral Tay walked through a park on a colony world called New Hope. It had been a council mining world where workers had been treated like slaves. Now it was free, its people building their own future. Children played in the park. Human children and alien children playing together, laughing in a dozen different languages. Tay smiled, watching them. Beautiful, isn't it? Dr. Hay said, joining him on the bench. It is, Tay agreed. He had retired from military service after the war. Now he spent his time traveling to different Confederation worlds, helping new members integrate. How's the military restructuring going? Hay asked. She had also retired, returning to pure research instead of weapons development. Colonel Day is doing well, Tay said. Day had been promoted to general and now commanded the Confederation Defense Force. He's training officers from 30 different species, teaching them human tactics, human strategies. Some of them are already better than our own people. And Captain Jin? Tay chuckled. Admiral Jin now. He commands the peacekeeping fleet. Last I heard, he was helping the Kelth upgrade their defensive systems. They're worried about pirates. They sat in comfortable silence for a moment, watching the children play. Do you think it will last? Hay asked. The Confederation, I mean. Can species that are so different really cooperate? I don't know, Tay said honestly. But we have to try. The alternative is going back to the old way, where the strong dominate the weak. That's what the council did, and we saw where that led. A young girl ran up to them. She was human, maybe 6 years old. "Mr. Tay, will you tell us a story?" Tay laughed. "What kind of story?" "About the war, about when Earth fought the bad aliens." Several alien children gathered around, too, their eyes wide with curiosity. Tay looked at Hay, who shrugged and smiled. "All right," Tay said. "It started when the Galactic Council came to Earth with 500 ships. They ordered us to surrender, but we said no." "Why?" asked a small Kelth child. "Because humans don't surrender," Tay said. "We might be scared, we might be outnumbered, but we fight for what we believe in, and we believed in freedom." "Did you win?" asked another child, even though they obviously knew the answer. "Yes, but not just for ourselves. We won for everyone. We won so that you could play in this park without fear. We won so that every species could choose their own path." The children listened, fascinated. When Ty finished the story, they ran off to play, shouting and laughing. Dr. G appeared, walking across the park with a data tablet. "Admiral, Ambassador, I thought you'd want to know. The latest census results are in. The Confederation now has 93 member species. 17 more have applied for membership." 93, Hai said, shaking her head in wonder. "A year ago, we were alone against the galaxy." "We were never alone," Tay said. "There were always others who wanted freedom. We just had to show them it was possible." Engineer Me joined their group. She had been working on a new project, designing ships that combine technology from multiple species. "The first Confederation Explorer ship launches next week," she announced. "It's got human engines, Kelth sensors, Vrelian shields, and computers designed by a species we only met 3 months ago. It's the fastest ship ever built." "Where will it go?" Tay asked. "Out," Me said, pointing up at the stars, "to explore unknown space, to find new species and invite them to join us. The galaxy is huge. We've only seen a tiny part of it." As the sun set on New Hope, casting long shadows across the park, the group of friends sat together. They had been warriors once, fighting for survival. Now they were builders, creating something new. The Galactic Council had ordered Earth's surrender. They had wanted to destroy humanity, to erase them from the stars. Instead, humanity had destroyed the Council. But more than that, they had built something better in its place. A confederation where strength came from unity, where diversity was celebrated, where freedom was protected. It wasn't perfect. There were still problems, still conflicts, but it was better. So much better than what came before. Admiral Tay looked up at the stars, visible now in the darkening sky. Somewhere out there, new species were developing, growing, reaching for space. And when they did, they would find not a council demanding their submission, but a confederation offering friendship. The war was over. The revolution had succeeded. And the galaxy would never be the same. "Come on," Hai said, standing up. "They're having a celebration in the city center. Representatives from 20 different species all sharing food and music. We should go." Tay stood, stretching. "Yes, we should. After all, this is what we fought for. Not just to win a war, but to have moments like this. Peace, freedom, hope." As they walked toward the distant lights of the city, the sounds of laughter and music drifted across the park. Humans and aliens, former enemies and new friends, all celebrating together under the stars. The Galactic Council had wanted Earth's surrender. Instead, they got humanity's revolution, and the galaxy was better for it.